Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Rockets beat the Sacramento Kings 122-97. And the Houston Rockets win their third straight game, and also this is the first time the Houston Rockets have a 500 record in 3 years. Also, at one point, the Houston Rockets led by 40 points in this ballgame. This is the biggest lead. I think it's the biggest lead the Houston Rockets have had in 3 years. They might have, actually a game I went to, it was the home opener against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2021-22 season. The Rockets led pretty big in that game. I don't know. It might have been near 40, if not 40. So the Rockets maybe have had leads like this in the past, but I really don't think the Rockets have had a lead in a game by 40 points in 3 years ever since James Harden left Houston. I was at tonight's game. I had a great time. This great performance for a night to go to the game. Starters didn't play much. I mean, you didn't have a starter that played over 28 minutes. The starter that played the most minutes was Dylan Brooks with 28 minutes, and everybody else, Jabari 22, Sengun 26, Fred 27, Jalen 26. I love when you have a night where the team plays so well. You don't even have to play these guys for a good chunk of the third quarter or the fourth quarter for that matter either. I mean, I saw tonight that Joel Embiid scored 48 points for the 76ers in 3 quarters. Reminds me of when Klay Thompson scored 60 in 3 quarters or something like that one year. But this is a great performance for the Rockets, winning 122-97. Thing that frustrates me is that if Sengun would have played just a little bit more, he would have reached his first triple-double of the season. That's the only thing that really frustrates me about this game from today. Sengun had 17, 12, and 8. 2 rebounds away from that triple-double. He's had a couple games. I think the Spurs game, he was pretty close to a triple-double. But this was the closest game by far he was to getting a triple-double, and really frustrating that he didn't get that tonight. If the Rockets weren't beating the Kings as bad as they were tonight, Sengun definitely would have got his first triple-double. At the game tonight, the Rockets were up 25 going into halftime. I wasn't feeling great about the third, or were they up more than that? No, it was 42-67. Yeah, 25. I wasn't feeling great going into the third quarter because, and I was wrong because the Rockets outscored Sacramento by 12 and were up 37 going into the fourth quarter. But I'll tell you why. The Rockets, when having big leads, they have found themselves to not be able to hold those leads. And tonight was the first time the Houston Rockets had a big lead this season, and they've had some leads. I mean, they were up, I think, by 10, or they were up by 16 points in the first quarter or the second quarter against Sacramento the other night, and at one point, Sacramento had the lead in the third quarter. They had multiple leads against Charlotte, where the first time, they were up 18 against Charlotte in the first half, and then by the end of the first half, it's like a 1-point ball game or a 3-point ball. I think we were up 3 going into halftime, and the Houston Rockets were only up by 1 or 3, whatever it was. And then going later into that Charlotte game, the Houston Rockets were up in the fourth quarter, 106-92. It was 106-92. The Rockets were playing unbelievable basketball. There's 4 minutes remaining in the game. Fast forward 2 minutes later, Brandon Miller hits a 3, and it's 115-110. So, any team can give up a lead quick, but the Houston Rockets, and even against the San Antonio Spurs as well, if you go to the Spurs game where the Rockets lost in overtime, they were up 10 in the fourth quarter, blew the lead, went to overtime. The Houston Rockets in previous games against the Kings and in the game on Saturday, against the Hornets, against the Spurs, have had trouble holding leads, being able to maintain leads. And tonight, for the first time this season, the Houston Rockets were finally able to maintain a lead and hold it down. And that's just one of the reasons why I thought there would be a little bit of a comeback this season. Also, the Rockets have kind of struggled a little bit in the third quarters. Last third quarter against the Kings, they only scored 12 points. They were terrible. Against the Magic, the first game, they were terrible in the third quarter. The Spurs in the third quarter, I don't think they were great, but they weren't terrible. The Warriors in the third quarter, they were actually pretty good against the Warriors. And then the Hornets in the third quarter, they weren't really good against the Hornets in the third quarter. So they haven't been a terrible team in the third quarter going into this game, but they haven't been the best, and they haven't been very efficient in the third quarter. So I thought there was some room for the Kings to make a little bit of a comeback, and that's what I was thinking at halftime. But man, did they prove me wrong in the third quarter when they outscored the Kings 30-18. It was a great performance of the Rockets as they win this one 122-97. And also another thing is the Rockets outperformed the Sacramento Kings in literally every stat. The only stats that the Kings outperformed the Rockets were in offensive rebounds and points off of turnovers. That was it. That was look at every other category from this game. Every other stat, the Houston Rockets, as team stats, the Houston Rockets led everything compared to the Kings. Compared to the team stats, the only thing that the Kings let in were offensive rebounds and points off of turnovers. So that's really good for the Rockets when you see a stats like that. And the team looked really good from three tonight. I mean, it looked good from three throughout the whole season. Tonight shot 15 for 31, which is 48.4%. Houston Rockets have been like a top 10 3-point shooting team this season, and they were absolutely NBA's dead last worst 3-point shooting team last year. So that's been another big thing improvement for the Houston Rockets this season. Let's go over the stats from this game for the Houston Rockets. So 23 points for Jalen Green, 26 minutes, 5 for 9, 3 for 5 for 3. He was on fire in this game. Jalen would have had way more points if he played his normal minutes. And he had, I think, 16 in the first half. 3 for 5 from 3, 10 for 12 at the free throw line, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. 11 points for Fred VanVleet, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 27 minutes, 3 for 8, 3 for 5 from 3. Keep in mind, we're going over the starters' minutes, the starters' points and their stats in general. Keep in mind, these guys were not playing their normal minutes. Alperen Sengun, 26 minutes, 7 for 13, 3 for 4 at the free throw line, 17 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 steal. Dillon Brooks, a little bit, I'm not gonna hate on Dillon Brooks because number one, he was not shooting the ball as much as he's been shooting the ball in the last 2 games, and also he was not playing as much as he's been playing in the last 2 games. The last 2 games, he scored 20 and 26. Tonight, he only had 9, but he had 6 rebounds with 1 assist, but only played 28 minutes and shot 3 for 6 and 1 for 3 from 3. So it's not a bad performance from Dillon, just did not take a lot of shots and did not play a lot of minutes. And other guys were taking more shots than him tonight for the Rockets. Sengun, Jalen, Fred, Jabari. So this was a night where Dillon was playing a little bit of selfless basketball. Then Jabari Smith Jr., he got hot in the first quarter. He scored 8 points in the first quarter early on. We're talking about early on in the first quarter, like first 6 minutes. And then he only scored 5 points the rest of the ballgame. 13 for Jabari, 4 rebounds, 5 for 8, 3 for 5 from 3. Good night from Jabari. He just, after the first quarter, got a little bit shy from the basketball. Off the bench, you had one player with double figures, 13 points for Aaron Holiday. He looked good. He was perfect. 6 for 6 from the floor, 1 for 1 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. With Amen Thompson out, he has been perfect for the Rockets. He's been really good. Jayshawn Tate also had 8 points for the Rockets, 3 for 5, 2 for 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 5 points for Jack Landale. And Boban played 7 minutes. Man, that crowd wanted Boban to score, and they got pissed on the last possession when the Rockets ran the clock out with like 10 seconds remaining. Boban was like wide open in the paint. They were screaming to, throw it to Boban, but Rockets had good sportsmanship. They didn't do that. Boban took a couple of shots. He took 3 shots, and I can confirm that on every 3 shots, the remaining fans that were at the stadium, there was a good crowd tonight. Just the only people, the remaining fans that were still at the stadium because it was a huge lead, were all standing up when Boban would take the shots, and it was all gas when Boban missed. 7 minutes for Boban. He took 3 shots, and Toyota Center, even though it was a big win for the Rockets, they were very disappointed. Boban did not score. 8 for Jayshawn, 6 for Jeff Green, 1 steal, 1 rebound. He had a layup, was a really good pass from Alperen Sengun. He did miss 2 free throws, though. And the Jermaine Samuels got 12 minutes at the end and scored 4 points. And 7 points for Cam Whitmore, 3 for 5, 0 for 1 from 3, 1 for 2 at the free throw line, 1 steal, 1 assist. I feel like he should be getting some minutes, but I'm still okay with him not getting any minutes. I think what Ime is trying to do right now is he's trying to get him to earn his minutes, and I like that. But at some point, Cam should deserve to maybe get 7 to 10 minutes a night. I just think with the way two guys like Jeff Green and Jason Tate are playing basketball right now, you cannot cut those two guys out of the rotation. They're playing great basketball. Eventually, Cam will start to get more minutes, but he looked good tonight when he was out there. His first NBA buckets tonight, though. And then Reggie Bullock Jr. played 12 minutes, 0 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. And then how about this guy? Nate Hinton looked pretty good. Two-way contract guy, 7 minutes, 2 for 4, 2 for 2 from 3, 6 points. Not bad for Nate Hinton. Let's go to the Kings stats real quick. Their leader in scoring was 15 points for Ellis with 2 rebounds and 1 assist, 10 points for Jones, and 10 points for JaVale McGee with 3 rebounds, 13 points for Kevin Huerter, 5 points for Davion Mitchell, 12 points for Keegan Murray with 5 rebounds, 8 points for DeMontis Sabonis, 3 points for Harrison Barnes. So, great win for the Rockets tonight, but I want to keep in mind that these Sacramento Kings are without De'Aaron Fox. And I'm not making excuses for the Kings. I don't know why you would think I'd be making excuses for the Kings when I am a Houston Rockets fan. These are impressive wins against the Kings, 2 games against the Kings without Fox and the Hornets. These are showing that these guys are learning how to win basketball games. But I want to see these guys beat a good team. And they have a chance in these next 2 games against the New Orleans Pelicans and the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think the Rockets will win 1 out of the 2 of those games. If Anthony Davis is not playing for the Lakers on Wednesday, I think the Rockets get a win. I'm actually going to that game as well. And then Friday against the Pelicans, I'm not going to that game, but Friday against the Pelicans NBA Cup, if CJ McCollum is still out for the New Orleans Pelicans, I think the Rockets could get a win there as well. I don't know if the Rockets extend their winning streak on Wednesday night, but I think out of the next 2 games, they win 1 or if not both. But they're starting to learn how to win. That's good. Let's hope they can keep it up. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed their thoughts, and peace out. Go Rockets.